For a lot of us, tests this month have been like Arsenal losses in the Premier League, back to back to back. So it's understandable if you haven't been keeping up to date with what's been going on in the world recently. So here's a quick rundown of a few things you might have missed, starting with the Oscars. The 93rd Annual Academy Awards took place on the 26th of April, and if you didn't watch it, don't worry, neither did anyone else. In fact, most of the drama took place before the awards commenced, as police removed masses of homeless people off the streets to show the world a prettier picture of California. Spotted amongst the homeless was Kanye West, who was apparently drawing inspiration for his next Yeezy collection. Now, once the awards actually commenced, the big winner on the night was Nomadland, a movie about a 60-year-old American woman who loses a house in the Great Recession. Ironic, they cleared the streets of all the homeless just to give an award to a millionaire pretending to be homeless. It's things like this that have caused Oscar viewership to drop like Bitcoin prices after an Elon Musk tweet. Nobody wants to watch a group of woke millionaires who are out of touch with reality give each other pats on the backs for memorizing lines that others wrote for them. I mean, how do you win an award for memorizing lines and then need to pull out a piece of paper to remember who to thank? That's why this year's Oscars received record low viewership, with only 10.4 million people tuning in to watch. To put that into perspective, that is 10.4 million more than the amount of people who actually watched Nomadland. Now, another winner on the night was The Father, for which Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor, playing a man with dementia who forgets who he is, where he's from, and what's real and what's not. So, just another night of kind regards. Daniel Kaluuya won the award for Best Supporting Actor for his part in Judas and the Black Messiah, a movie about a man who infiltrates the Black Panther Party and leaks intelligence to the FBI, and a story that has become known as one of the biggest betrayals in history, up until Prince KB's side chick leaked the DMs. Hey, guess she was just trying to fetch her life. Speaking of women trying to fetch their lives, Melinda Gates decided to divorce billionaire husband Bill after 27 years of marriage. And during that time, my Windows still hasn't finished updating. Now, while I don't usually concern myself with celebrity breakups, this one is different because through their charity, Bill and Melinda Gates contributed tremendously to charitable causes all around the world, be it from malnutrition to malaria, and so news of their split is really devastating. In fact, the only ones truly happy about this divorce are the mosquitoes in Africa, who apparently celebrated by attending the class of 2020's graduation party, only to find out that all the life had already been sucked out of them. Now, through this divorce, Melinda Gates could earn up to more than $60 billion in the settlement, making her the second richest woman in history, meaning she can now afford to buy roughly 3 textbooks from Franz Skyke and still have enough for bus fare home. To get away from the media attention, Melinda reportedly rented out an entire island for her and her family, which on the surface of it isn't a terrible thing, but if history has taught us one thing, it's not to trust billionaires and islands. Now, to make matters worse for Bill Gates, he's been under severe public scrutiny in recent times after refusing to share his patented COVID vaccine with developing nations such as India, which, given his altruistic nature, is quite surprising, but not as surprising as the fact that there's no Indian guy on YouTube explaining how the vaccine is made. Now, in the face of this, Apple has stepped forward and said that they are willing to create a vaccine and share it with the rest of the world. However, you'll have to pay extra for Vaccine Pro, and the needle and syringe aren't included in the box. Now, it's difficult to speak about recent events without bringing up the conflict in the Middle East. Israel and Palestine have renewed their ongoing war, and Joe Biden has been ignoring it as if it were a benign defamation suit. In the meantime, hundreds of people have been killed, including women and children. And while the world shouted "Free Palestine," American capitalism went free. Best I can do is half off. Now, it's been uninspiring to see talk show hosts with platforms tiptoe around the topic without taking a stance. I understand that if you don't know what's going on, you shouldn't comment for the sake of moral posturing. But if you have something to say, silence is a lie. Now, I'll level with you. Being a 20-year-old kid from the Eastern Cape, I spend my time trying to memorize Griejos. I don't fully understand the complexities of Middle Eastern politics. But being from the Eastern Cape, I've seen the consequences of oppression based on group differences. And so I can empathize with the Muslims who were met with tear gas and rubber bullets outside of a mosque during Ramadan. I can't imagine what it's like to be hit with tear gas, but tear gas on the empty stomach is incomprehensible. Gents, your girl gets angry when she hasn't eaten in the last hour. Imagine her not eating from sunrise to sunset. Throw in tear gas and rubber bullets and trust me, a Super League will be the least of your concerns. Now, Israel has finally agreed to a ceasefire after 11 days of fighting, in which 232 Palestinians and 12 Israelites were reportedly killed. But this is a war that's been going on for decades, and I doubt it's the last we'll hear of it. We all don't have the luxury of renting entire islands to hide from the world and its problems. So the best we can do is to get informed and formulate our own opinions, instead of being swayed by whatever virtue-signaling Hollywood elitists have to say in their Oscar speeches. And with that, I encourage you to stay safe, stay informed, and don't forget to sanitize.